afternoon. Where we going? Tomorrow we have the early flight to Thailand, so we kind of leave Sunday afternoon, stay at the hotel by the airport. It's about 1 mile away. Because we do this, we take about 45 days, and long-term parking it's too many days, so we go to hotel. I think it worth it more cheaper than leave the car at the long-term parking. And the important thing is we don't need to wake up so very early from house to the airport.
Yeah, if you don't recall, last year when we left, we got woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning from an earthquake. Remember that? And it woke us up, but it was like 5 minutes before our alarm was supposed to go off. But anyhow, we had to leave at 2 a.m. to get to the airport and get out of there. This year we decided we were going to get a hotel right near the airport that also allows parking. So the airport parking is $10 a night, and the hotel parking is $7 a night. So 45 days, you can save roughly, what, $135 or something like that?
Yes.
On parking fees, but we'll have to pay somebody to drive us to the airport and to drive us back. So, I don't know. I haven't really decided. I might... That's only going to save me, like I said, $135. I suppose a taxi both ways is probably going to cost $15 each way, so that's another $30 I'll take off that. So it'd save us $100 to stay at the hotel, but it's going to be a lot more hassle too. So we might end up just taking the car and parking it at the airport. I haven't completely decided yet, but we've got the option now. We don't have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
It's a little after 3 o'clock right now. We left the house right at 3 p.m.
We have 1 hour of sleep more.
We'll get more than that. It's about an hour and a half drive to the airport from our house. So we're still going to have to get up early, but not as early as last year. It's kind of chilly out. It's 57 right now, but tonight it's supposed to get down to like 28. So I mean, it's not real bad. But for you, those of you on the metric system, that's -2 Celsius. What's
quite
that?
cold for this time.
It's cold for you.
Quite cold for this time afternoon.
Right. But anyhow, I want to talk a little bit about the logistics of going on a long-term stay like this. Some of the things that we got to think about, we have to prepare ahead of time. But as you know, we did this last year for about 30 days, so we've got a little bit of experience at it. But if you haven't seen that video, I'll post it right up here from last year's trip over there, which was a damn fiasco. So I hope this trip goes better. This time we're leaving Charlotte, we're going to Minneapolis, then we're going to Seoul, Korea, and then down to Bangkok. On the way back, I think we go to Seoul and then New York City and then home. But anyhow, the logistics of leaving for this period of time, I mean, there's a lot of things you got to arrange for, like how you're going to pay your bills, who's going to collect your mail, security of the property and your belongings, making sure you don't run out of money while you're over there, not having to pay big exchange fees if you do. There's a few things, but a couple of things I just wanted to talk about that people might not think about. And one of them is I just crawled under the house and shut the water off to the entire house before we left.
We never do that, but we have bad experience a couple months ago.
What happened?
The faucet sink, the gun, it broke, right? and make the water fly everywhere.
So we have bidet guns on our toilets, and this has happened to us twice. It just so happened, well, first time I don't think you were living there yet, but it just so happened that I was home at the time and I heard them pop, but the hoses blew open and started spraying water all over the bathroom. Both times I just happened to be home and heard it pop, so I was able to get it shut off right away, but that's one of the reasons. What else happened a month ago?
What else happened before we travel?
A month ago for a water leak. Remember you found the water leaking under the house?
Under the house, right?
Yeah, the water leak.
Oh, the water leak. One beautiful sunny day, I clear the garden and I have the garden pot. I want to keep it under the house, that my storage place. And I open under the house, the door. And then I found the water dripping, like spray everywhere under by the water heat.
So, yeah, she stores some of her garden stuff under the house because the access door is right there. So in the wintertime, she just throws the stuff under there to store it. So she was doing that. She happened to notice that there was a water leak under the house. Well, the PVC pipe had cracked and was spraying water straight up on the floor of the house. So long story short, we fixed that. It leaked for another day before I could get time off work to go get the parts and get it fixed.
Yeah.
But it was a hairline crack and just spraying. But
Yes.
anyhow, so this time I crawled under there and shut the house water off so that if something happens while we're gone, it won't sit there and spray water all over the house for 6
Right.
weeks.
So that breaking heat hot water thing and spray the water everywhere, including the wood under the floor. So after we fixed the pipe, after he fixed the pipe, and about 2 weeks later, my feet feels the floor is pretty bumpy at the bedroom, exactly like the spot that the water leak.
So we have pretty nice plush carpet in our bedroom. But about 2 weeks after we got this water leak fixed, she noticed a small hump in the floor right about where the water leak was. So what has happened is that water soaked up the OSB, which is the pressboard material that is used to make the floor. And that pressboard is swollen up underneath the carpet. So when we get back, I've got to pull the carpet back, cut that OSB out, and put a new piece down in there. I already have everything to do it. I just didn't want to do it because we had those other projects going on the last couple of weeks that you probably saw in the other video. But that's a project for when we get back.
Yes.
But going back to the logistics of leaving, mail. You get online to hold your mail for the post office, they'll only hold it for 30 days or you have to forward it. Well, I've got no family or no one around me that we can forward our mail to. So I actually left a note in our mailbox for our mail carrier because we get our mail delivered right to the driveway. But I left a note for the mail carrier and he called me and he's going to actually pull our mail and hold it for the 45 days. And then he'll start delivering it again when we get back.
We don't have mail for weeks. I don't know, they start to hold it long before. So when they start to count for 45 days.
Yeah, I had dates on the letter I gave him, and he said he'd keep the letter for proof that I asked him to do it, so he don't get in trouble. But we haven't had any mail. I think we had one little sliver of mail one day a week ago. But ever since I've talked to him, we haven't had any mail. So maybe he misunderstood me, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Maybe we don't have nobody send any. I like the way you translate for me when I talk about everything and you like correct what I try to say.
You like that?
I like that, yeah.
So then one of the other logistics as I'm talking about these things is paying your bills. We don't have hardly any bills, but the ones I do have, I have everything set up to just automatically pull out of my account every month or whenever it's due, except two. And those two I always pay online through my bank. I just every month I have to get on there when I get the statement. First off, those two don't allow you to set up automatic payment systems, which is stupid this day and age. But anyhow, every month I got to get on my bank and say, okay, send them a check for whatever amount the bill is. So because I won't be there to see what the bill is, I just estimate how much that bill is going to be and then add like 20% to it. And then I get on my bank online and I schedule those payments for when I would normally make those. So that the bank will just automatically, next month, they will just automatically send them an overpayment is what it'll be. But when I get back, I'll just have a credit. Last year, I actually paid ahead on one of the two for 3 months, but I way overpaid it, so I didn't have to pay it again for like 6 months. But this time, I backed that down a little bit. But I just want to make sure I overpay it so I don't short them any and end up charging me an extra $20 because I'm 50 cents short. So the bill paying is a little bit of logistics. Home security, you got to think about that. I've got a good neighbor right next door. He keeps an eye on the place for me. But also, you know, of course, we've got a home security system. We got that fired up, and we can monitor that on our phones. And we will have our phones activated. That's another logistics. We've got SIM cards for Thailand. So as soon as we get to Thailand, we'll change the SIM cards in our phones. So our phones will work over there, but as long as we're on Wi-Fi, our home security system will notify us on the phones. So if there's anything going on around the property, we'll get notified right away. The other thing we got to do is we got to secure, you know, our real property. Like the car trailer, I got to make sure that's locked up so nobody can steal my trailer. Pull the truck in the shop and disconnect the batteries to it. That's not security, but that's just so that they won't get pulled down if something is inadvertently drawing juice off them. But disconnect the cables to the batteries. Same thing with the Jeep. What else do we do? Oh, your doors in your garage. If you have garage door openers, I don't think a lot of countries use those, but America, everybody's got them. But they got a little latch on them where you can open those latches up and it'll unlock that garage door opener so that you can't open the garage electrically. Windows, you got to go around, lock all your windows, leave some lights on. A lot of times I'll put a light on a timer so that they'll come on in the evening and then shut off when time we normally go to bed. There's just a lot of little things you can do to just make it not so obvious that you're gone. Of course, sitting here telling everybody on the internet it's probably not the world's greatest idea. I've heard people get popped that way, but we've taken a lot of precautions. And if you've never seen Home Alone, you might want to watch that before you try breaking into my house, because you might get shot in the head with a booby trap.
Home Alone.
What's that?
Home Alone. I'm not sure I watch.
Oh, well, I'll have to show it to you someday. But, yeah, there's a lot of logistics to it. And honestly, we don't keep anything of value there anyhow. I sold off all my guns. Any cash we keep on hand, we've usually got that with us. And especially now going on a trip. Oh, that was the other thing we had to do. We had to go to the bank last week and fill up our wallet so that we aren't trying to pull money out of an ATM over there, because the fees are ridiculous and the exchange rates suck.
Yeah.
So did you bring the Thai baht we have with us?
I have some.
Okay. We have Thai baht left from last trip, which we
Enough
usually
for
do every
taxi?
trip. we bring that with so that when we get to the airport in Bangkok at midnight tomorrow night, Tuesday night, depending on where you're at, so Tuesday night in Bangkok, we'll have money for a taxi to get us to the hotel.
Yes.
So anyhow, those are just some of the things that you need to think about and take into consideration. Plants. Last year we set up an automatic watering system to water all of our plants while we were gone. This year I only have one that I have in the house because I don't have bananas in the house this year. So we just stuck that in a big tub and just soaked the living hell out of it. It's a tree, so 45 days ain't gonna hurt it because the water we put in there will last probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. All the drains. A lot of people will never think about this, but your drains for your sinks and stuff have a water trap in them to keep the odors from the sewer to come back up into your house, and those can be explosive as well. They're flammable. But those things, if you leave them sit without running water in them for too long, then they'll evaporate out, and when you come home you'll have that sewer gas up in your house.
I never thought about that. I never know, actually.
Well, if you leave for a week or something, or even 2 weeks, it's not that big a deal, but for as long as we're going, the toilets won't dry out. But your toilets, if you're leaving for a long time, you just lift the lids up and take cellophane wrap and put over the bowl, and that keeps the water in there from being able to evaporate. Now it might evaporate, but it'll evaporate slowly. So like 6 weeks, it'll never dry out, ever doing cellophane. And then all the sinks, we close the drains in all the sinks. But it's not to keep water in the sink, it's to keep the water in the drain from evaporating up out of the sink. We got one shower that doesn't have a drain closer on it because it's a walk-in shower and it just drains constantly. So I literally just took a large plastic glass, flipped it over and set it over the drain. Now that's not airtight or watertight, but it will hold the moisture in there enough that it won't dry out over 6 weeks. And the rate that it dries at is going to depend a lot on your humidity, but this time of year, with your furnaces running in North America, that dries out your air quite rapidly, and so it will evaporate the drains quicker. Now if you're in a very humid climate and maybe you don't have air conditioning or heat, then you probably don't have to worry about it for a longer period of time, which is another thing. The heat, I don't know if you know this, but I did it before many times, so you're probably aware of it, but I turned the heat down about 10 degrees below what we normally keep it at, just because we're not going to be there. We just don't want the pipes to freeze or something, so we don't need it really warm in there, so we just drop it down.
Pretty busy for Sunday afternoon.
The traffic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so busy. Normally it's not this busy this
So
time.
if you not close the drain or everything, it probably the house gonna smell.
Yes. It'll smell like our poop tank. We have a septic system at our house because we're in a rural area. All right, we just got into the south edge of Charlotte on I-77. So far so good. Traffic isn't too bad here. In fact, it ain't bad at all right now.
for 1.5 miles.
The way we think is the way we are.
What?
The way we think is the way we are.
Right.
You are what you eat.
That's right.
So you are what you eat, or you are what you think.
You are what you don't poop. So they're getting ready to widen all this more. I don't know why, because this isn't that bad.
You are what you think. Do you like I look like Miss Universe?
Okay.
I think I look like most beautiful.
Well, then that's all that matters, what you think. Doesn't matter what everybody else thinks.
That's what I think, not what you think and feel.
So here's where I was taking all those cars to the airport right here.
Yeah. Oh, for the rental car?
Yeah, Hertz.
Oh, okay.
In a 1/4 mile, turn left onto Little Rock Road.
Turn down right back there. No, actually, it turned right here, but they changed that road.
Take the second left onto Little Rock Road.
A lot of car here, rental car, all of them.
Yeah, these
In a
are all.
1/4 mile, turn left to stay on
It's
Little Rock Road.
either rental cars
Parking?
or parking, because the long-term parking's right over there. There's the airport right there, literally next to you.
Yeah. Ooh. The luggage fly left, right. Depend on which side you turn.
Yep.
Same like my
Turn
head.
left to stay on
too.
Little Rock Road.
See, there's a Holiday Inn right there, but
Which
there's one there, but that's not the one we're at.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I need to put them in there differently next time.
Continue on Little Rock Road for 1/2 mile.
Okay, so we're out of the car at the hotel. We got our bags. We're gonna get moving in there and get checked in. Here you go. You got it? You want me to carry this?
Go.
How we doing? I had a reservation.
The elevator on the 3rd floor. The room's gonna be on your right.
Thank you.
Strawberry. Hot water.
Tirak. Palau.
I get it. Ah, okay, you get it. Smell good.
I think we're
Yeah, let me have.
okay.
Yeah.
Take that. It's up behind you.
Go.
Yep, same floor. Sorry. What? It's dark in here. Just want you to fall asleep.
What time you go?
3. We're in 310. She said it's I think she said to the right as soon as you step off the elevator. Nope, to the left, apparently. 9, okay, there's 9. Oh, it's over there. It's tucked back here in the corner, I guess.
It's right by the elevator.
Yeah, we get all the traffic
my
tonight.
God, in the middle of traffic.
All right.
Nice.
Yep.
A good place to stay. We don't need to travel Thailand.
I don't think
Very
so.
nice. I love it.
You've got a sofa, a microwave, a refrigerator for my beer.
Yeah. I wish I have little condo
I like this big desk though.
like this.
Okay, so let's set this camera up real quick.
That's why I like to go hotel. I can see how they do.
Okay, so that's our travel to Charlotte. That's our first little tiny leg of our journey. We're here tonight. As I said in the car, we're gonna drive to the airport and just park over there. So we changed our mind, or I changed our mind. This room was $118 for one night. $118 for one night.
Nice place. No
Yeah,
doubt. It look good.
Yeah, but compared to Thailand, it's like really expensive. So anyhow, I'm gonna edit this video tonight. We're gonna get comfortable, take a shower, eat. We probably should go
Relax.
try to find some snacks. So
Oh, okay.
there was a convenience store right down here on the corner, wasn't there? Wasn't there a BP station?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We could just go down there and grab some stuff to take on the airplane.